Good day, Navs gang, and hello to all my zombie slaying friends. So thank you for joining me for another test of Alpha 17. Unfortunately, I recorded this test before B231 dropped, so this is still showing B221. But I think for the purpose of this test, it's not really going to matter that much, because what I'm testing here is how far away do zombies spawn on Horde night. I noticed that on the first few Horde nights when me and Den were playing, the zombies seem to be spawning a lot closer than they did in Alpha 16. So I decided to do this test to just see, how far away are they, and that's important because some of the builds that we're trying to make, where we're building a separate Horde base from our crafting base, our day-to-day base. We didn't want to build them too close, or where zombies would spawn in and then potentially spawn in on the other side of our crafting base, or God forbid, inside of the crafting base and end up beating their way through it or out of it. Probably not as big of a problem with the pathing updates that have happened. Zombies probably just run around the base, but we, like most folks, our crafting base, we've provided some kind of protection, laying spikes around, and trying to make sure that when the wandering hordes come around, it's not too easy pickings, and when you get some kind of notification there's zombies hanging out outside. So what we're doing right now is trying to come up with a way to measure things pretty quickly. Side note, the lanterns, and I think Capo talked about this in some of the tweets, the lanterns out of the creative menu and all the light sources, with the exception of the torches, don't light up. Even though they're not powered in the game, you find them in the dungeons and they're lit. When you pull them out, they don't light up. Doesn't matter if you try to connect power to them or anything like that. I tried the flashlights, I tried the lanterns, and then just decided that I had to go with the good old torches. Problem with the torches is, again, credit to Capo for going back and redoing his test and proving the torches do increase the heat map for bringing on screamers. So when you got a bunch of torches, guess what? You're going to get a bunch of screamers, even in creative mode. So it is a bit annoying, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time wiring spotlights or anything else like that. I just wanted a marker. And you see what I've done here is I have 500 frames in my inventory. I laid them down one at a time until I got to 50, and then I marked every 10 blocks from 50 on back to 100. And I did this in all the cardinal directions from the little platform I built here in the center. So bringing it up 7 days. Here comes another screamer. There were several of them that showed up during the build stage here, but turn them off and go find and shoot them in the face. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know on the screamers if they spawn away from you or they spawn near the heat source. It's probably a heat source, but again, I wasn't testing that. This is all about testing whether or not the horde, how far away they spawn on Horde night. So you can see I got the sniper rifle out with a scope mod on, so I could use the scope to see. Try to make it visible where you could see 50, 60, just a quick visual reference. It's not exact. There was probably an easier way of doing this than trying to build in all 4 directions and lay these blocks out. But I was trying to play around with the creative mode, so I got a little more familiar with how the creative mode works. So this is me just flying around. See, Horde night started, and initially I don't see any zombies. I did turn off zombie movement pretty quickly after the sound came in, but I could hear them off in the distance, and I finally saw them there. So interestingly, when you look, there's a zombie spawned inside of the 50 meter mark. So not very far away. And that's pretty consistent. Yeah, they come from the one direction here. I had the blocks laid out. Could count it down. It's about somewhere between 40 and 50, probably closer to 45, 46 consistently. So not a lot of zombies spawning in, so I didn't have it. You know, this wasn't a test of how hard the zombies are to kill or even these defenses. I just threw those up there, just, you know, kind of make it look like an actual Horde base or give some semblance of one. And I threw a bunch of landmines around it as well. But it's not a test of how difficult the zombies are. This isn't a pathing test. You know, the test is purely designed to see how far away they spawn on Horde. Hopefully that'll help everybody out. It's useful for me and Den. We know how far away we need to build our Horde bases from our crafting bases, so that, you know, we don't have any incidents where the zombies spawn inside of our crafting base. Played around with a sniper rifle a little bit, just seeing who I could shoot in the face here and there. So most of the zombies, you know, they spawn in kind of a circle. That was another thing I discovered here. And you can see they spawn in kind of a circular pattern away from you. Not completely, you know, 360. Most of them came from north and northwest. And those two wedges in the direction. Right there. So I laid out the landmines, and you saw, I think that's Darlene, just ran right over the top of him. Here comes a skater guy. Stepped on one. I tried to shoot him. I don't know what was wrong with the landmines. Didn't really work as advertised. It was a bit frustrating. But so I did a couple other measurements, trying to see, okay, yeah, how far away they are. Again, not perfect, because I use those linear lines, and so it's spawning in a circle. But, you know, based on what I could see, based on, you know, doing some, you know, redneck math here, just off the top of my head, yeah, we were looking at, again, somewhere between 40 and 50, but most consistently right in the middle of that, about 44, 45. One of the other things I looked at here with zombies was when you kill them, and where do they spawn after you've killed them. So I wanted to see, okay, are they going to spawn back in the same area they did where they started on Horde Night? Because that's kind of been a consistent thing where you go out away in Alpha 16, you would go away from your base, the zombies would spawn in, and then you'd run so you could kind of tight them to the direction that you wanted. And I wanted to see if that's still a viable option here, or if they would just keep spawning in the same area. What you find is, here doing another measurement. Again, not precise, not exact, but it does show that the lunch lady there spawned probably about 43 blocks away from where the pedestal was when I was where I was standing. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, doing counting again. Alright. So yeah, with the test to see where they'd spawn when you're not in your Horde base or on my little pedestal there, I start capping the zombies. And what I noticed is they do spawn in the same general direction where they spawn initially, but they spawn about the same distance from you. It really doesn't matter, where you are, they're going to spawn away from you. And so, hope you liked the video. Hope it was informative. Appreciate your time. And if you like it, leave a like. If you don't, thumb it down. That's fine too. I'd love to see some comments, questions, or any ideas from any of your future tests. Follow me on Twitter at Diogen2, and I'll see you next time.